I've seen it said online that Funny Valentine's done nothing wrong. Well, in this video I intend on proving that Funny Valentine did pretty much everything wrong. That phrase I said at the start is actually very handy, because if you don't know, people used to say that about Hitler as a joke when the internet was a lot edgier, and I actually think that Hitler is a pretty on-point comparison for Funny Valentine. While it's true that in most of his appearances Funny Valentine is overly polite and statesmanlike, a complete and total patriot that loves his country, it's very clear that in certain scenes that this is a mask he is putting on. He's playing a character within his character that he is written as. One of my favourite examples of this is when Diego attempts to negotiate with Valentine, and Valentine, once he leaves, describes him as a peasant. Keep in mind that Funny Valentine is not a feudal monarch. He's a goddamn president that was elected democratically in a country that's supposedly free. There's also the time where he essentially tortures Stephen Steele because he's angry at him for following one of his plans. Funny Valentine also murders a number of his own subordinates and enemies in cold blood, sometimes himself, which is like pretty bad for a person to do, in my opinion. So I think it's pretty safe to say that Funny Valentine is your typical might makes right fascist strongman. Already there, and then we get to the more deplorable actions, like, you know, raping a 14-year-old, which is like pretty bad. You know, I mean, it's like pretty typical for fascists though, like they're generally all paedophiles in my experience. All jokes aside, it is important to get to the actual core of why Funny Valentine does the actions he does during the Still War run. He finds the heart in the desert as a soldier and realises the power it gives him, and then he convinces everyone else, and perhaps even himself, that what he wants to do is find the rest of the Saint's body to get power for America. Deep down, I mean, it's pretty clear he wants it for himself, even though he already has probably the strongest stand in all of JoJo. Earlier I compared Funny Valentine to Hitler, but that's actually quite an unfair comparison. I think he's a lot more like Napoleon, really. Sure, he has like an insane lust for power and an insane ruthlessness that has him willing to kill pretty much anyone in his path to get what he wants. But he is also pretty much just as capable to wield that power as anyone, and he has an extremely calm demeanour and is able to pretty much shrug off anything and continue moving on with his plan. Even when stuck in the infinite spin from Tusk, he was trying to negotiate and worm his way out of fighting Johnny still. He tried to convince him by immediately figuring out what he wanted and needed to be able to actually get out of the spin, and it almost worked. Probably my favourite thing about Funny Valentine is his stand. Dirty deeds done dirt cheap. Try saying that 5 times fast. And what's really special about this stand is that, while it is obviously about dimensions and ridiculous things like that, it actually has, I think, a hidden message in it that is actually about government tyranny, and it is about a state coming down on you, because there's essentially no way to escape it once it's got you. You will simply vanish, you will be disappeared as if you were black-bagged, which I think is really incredible, and I really love. If that's intentional, then Iraqi is actually a genius, which, to be fair, he probably is. There can, however, be no doubt that Funny Valentine is a real American, as he does shotgun beers, which you gotta give